What if the people who doubted you most were the ones you called family? Growing up, I was the odd one out. At every family gathering, birthdays, holidays, or those endless summer BBQs in Uncle Ray's backyard, it was the quiet kid, the dreamer, the one who didn't quite fit. My cousins, loud and athletic, tossed footballs and cracked jokes while I sat under the oak tree, sketching ideas in a tattered notebook. They'd laugh, call me the artist, their voices dripping with mockery. "Keep dreaming, Ethan," they'd say, tossing a burger bun at me. Even my parents, with their tired smiles, would pat my shoulder and urge me to be more like your cousins. I wasn't bitter, but each jab carved a small wound, a reminder I was less in their eyes. The barbecue at Uncle Ray's last summer was no different. The air smelled of charcoal and grilled corn, laughter echoing as my cousins boasted about their promotions, new cars, and weekend trips. I was 25, back home after years away, still chasing my dream of building something biotech startup I'd poured my soul into. But to them, I was just Ethan, the kid who wasted his degree on pipe dreams. As I stood by the cooler, sipping a soda, my cousin Jake smirked. "Still doodling apps, Ethan? When you gonna get a real job?" The table erupted in laughter, my aunts cackled the loudest. My cheeks burned, but I forced a smile. I'd learned to swallow the hurt. What they didn't know was that I'd been working 18-hour days, coding through nights, pitching to investors who barely gave me a glance. My startup, a platform connecting small farmers to urban markets, was my heart's work. I believed it could change lives, but it was a grind. Failure loomed like a shadow. Still, 6 months ago, I'd landed a meeting with a venture capital firm. I'd walked in, nervous, my tie slightly crooked, and pitched my vision. They didn't just listen, they invested. Big. My app was now live, connecting thousands of farmers to buyers, and the numbers were climbing. I hadn't told anyone, not even Mom. I wanted to prove myself first. That barbecue, though, stung deeper than usual. As I stood there, the laughter ringing in my ears, I felt the weight of every doubt they'd ever thrown at me. I excused myself, stepped behind the shed, and checked my phone. A text from my business partner. "Limo's on its way. You ready?" My heart skipped. I'd almost forgotten the firm was sending a car to take me to a gala in the city, a celebration for young entrepreneurs. I hadn't planned to make a scene, but fate had other ideas. Back at the barbecue, the family was still chuckling, tossing around the same old jabs. "Ethan's probably off drawing again," Jake said, flipping a burger. Then, the low hum of an engine cut through the chatter. Heads turned as a sleek black limousine rolled up to Uncle Ray's modest driveway. The family froze, burgers mid-bite, eyes wide. The driver, in a crisp suit, stepped out and opened the back door. I took a deep breath, straightened my jacket, and stepped out first. The silence was deafening. My cousin's jaws dropped, Aunt Linda's soda can slipping from her hand. Mom's eyes glistened, a mix of confusion and pride. I walked toward them, my steps steady, my heart pounding. "Ethan," Uncle Ray stammered. What's this?" I smiled, not smug, but calm. "Just heading to a gala," I said. My startup got some attention. I didn't need to say more. The limo spoke for itself. Jake tried to laugh it off. "Nice rental, man," he said, but his voice cracked. I didn't correct him. I didn't need to. The truth was in the app's numbers, the farmers' lives we'd changed, the investors who believed in me. I hugged Mom, who whispered, "I'm so proud," her voice thick with tears. I nodded to the family, their faces a mix of awe and shame, and slid back into the limo. As we pulled away, I glanced back at the barbecue, the smoke rising, the laughter gone. That night, at the gala, I stood among other dreamers, my heart full. I wasn't just the kid under the oak tree anymore. I'd built something real, something that mattered. But more than the applause or the spotlight, what stayed with me was the lesson. Family may laugh, may doubt, may wound, but your worth isn't theirs to define. It's yours to prove. And I had.